They made me live in an RV for 11 years so they could have a social media life. I slept in a bunk bed with a screen, didn't have any friends, and my mom filmed everything. It was around 7 years old when my parents chose to take a trip around the US in an RV. I was too young to have an opinion at that point. My mom makes videos online and my dad works online. While she's not huge, she is big enough that people sometimes notice us and have been taking pictures of me for as long as I can remember. I'm not going to say anything else about that to protect my privacy. I'm also using a fake account because I'm tired of all the attention I've been getting. This is my old, tiny bunk bed that I no longer fit in. The other bunk is where I store all of my things. What a shame I don't even have a room, just a curtain. Thank goodness I'm an only child, because I would have to share the small area I do have. I spent most of my school years being taught at home. For high school, I chose to go to an online school on my own. I'm a girl who is 18 years old. I don't have any real-life friends because I've only ever stayed somewhere for a month. They won't let me get a job because I'm not stable, and I can only find one online. This also means I can't leave and get away from them. I've talked to them many times about all of this, and they are completely crazy. They really think that being mobile is the best way to live, so why would I ever need anything else? They treat me like a pet that they can use in their plans instead of their kid, and I hate that. I hate going on trips and being hot. Bugs bother me a lot, and I'm tired of hiking. With their morning walks and cameras in my face, I can't wait for the day when I finally figure out how to get away from them. I've been all over the US, but what if I just want to live a normal life, go to college, and maybe even make some friends? That's too much to ask. Update 1 September 19th, 2024. Hello, I just made a post a little more than a week ago about how bad it is for me to live in an RV with my parents for about 10 years. Even though it's only been a short time since I shared it, a lot has changed for me. While I'm not sure how many of you would be interested in hearing about my latest developments, I know that many of you were worried and would probably enjoy one, so here it is. Also, just so you know, this is a pretty long post. I tend to ramble, so there is a sort of TLDR at the end. A lot of people gave me great tips, tools, and even offers to help me themselves. Some of them are questionable, but most of them are truly worried and want to help, which I really value. I have to say it was a little too much for me to handle, and I missed replying to a lot of people. Please forgive me. But I had been researching a lot of the information people gave me, even if I didn't answer many of them. People asked me if I had any family I could stay with, and I had to say not that I know of. Because I don't have any relatives on my dad's side of the family, and my mom doesn't talk to her family at all. I wasn't sure if they were still living. I never asked my mom if they cut her off or if she cut them off or if they did anything else. She never wanted to talk about it. What I did know was my mom's given name, which isn't very common, and where she was born. I've learned that knowing where someone was born can help you find family surprisingly far. I've always had a soft spot for the internet because my whole life was online. And I know that once something is online, it's online forever. But for the first time ever, I'm really thankful for the internet. It took some work, but I was able to find some information about my mom's side of the family, including my grandmother's Facebook page. After a lot of stress about how to message her, if I should even, and what might happen, I did it. I told her about my mom's life, who I was, and my situation. I won't go into why my grandmother and my mother don't talk to each other, because that's not my story to tell. But my grandmother was shocked that she didn't know she had a granddaughter and was even more shocked by how her daughter raised me. I found out I have an aunt and an uncle. My grandmother told them about me and what was going on. Since I learned about each of them, I've been in touch with all of them pretty much all the time. All of them want to help me leave living with my parents, which is lucky for me because I'm now 18. Again, I don't feel completely safe going into details, but I have plans to go stay with my aunt in a big city on the West Coast. There are a lot of options for me to start college or do whatever I want, and I'm excited to say that I plan to figure out college. While my uncle has kids, my aunt lives alone and has an extra bedroom that she's happy to let me use for as long as I need to. My aunt planned and bought a train ticket for me, and I have enough money to get to the station. Talking to my family right now, it still feels weird to type. I'm trying to figure out the details, like how or if I should tell my parents. My mom doesn't know where any of her family lives, so even if I told them where I was going, they wouldn't know. Someone told me that if I left without telling them, I should leave a note or some other proof that I did so voluntarily. That's why, if I decide not to participate in the conversation, I'm going to either leave a note or make a video explaining my plans and why I'm leaving, which is kind of funny, wouldn't it? I have been very quiet around my parents and won't talk when the camera is on because my mom is recording, but luckily neither of them has brought it up yet. Also, since we're talking about my mom's happiness, I want to stress something very quickly. Most of the people who replied were trying to help, but a few were trying to figure out who I was. The few I saw were pretty much ripped apart, and the people who wrote them deleted their comments. Some people also sent me private messages to try to guess who I am, which I guess isn't a public thing. I can see why you'd be interested, but there's a reason I posted secretly with almost no personal information. Like I said in my last post, I've had enough attention, and am very tired of it. It would mean a lot to me if you could respect that. Just because you think you know who I am doesn't mean you should say it out loud. I don't want this to become even more public information about me. To make a long story short, I have plans to leave and a safe place for my aunt and me to go when I do. I'm grateful that so many people are ready to help. If you had told me not even 2 weeks ago that I would be moving away from my parents and getting in touch with family members I didn't even know about, I doubt I would have believed you. I'm not going to make another post to update this right now, but I really wanted to let anyone who was worried about me know not to. Thank you. If you leave a comment after Op has responded, be careful. You don't know much about your mom's family. I know it looks like an out. Be careful. Oh no, I will definitely be. It makes sense that my mom isn't talking to them, and it wasn't their fault either, as they were able to send proof. Even so, I'm not sure that I know them personally yet. Even though my train doesn't leave right away, I'm going to keep talking to them until then because they seem truly worried and trustworthy. Also, the aunt I'll be staying with seems really nice, and we've already found some things we have in common. One more time. I forgot to tell that person earlier that I said in the post that I'm planning to go to college, because it's now a more realistic choice for me. Also, I want to figure out how to live in dorms, so once I do that, I probably won't be staying with my aunt for that long. There's no way to be sure they're telling the truth. You should find out from your mother why she stopped talking to them without telling you while you were still talking to them. Anyway, my mom won't talk about her family at all, which is why I didn't know about my aunt and uncle and didn't have any touch with them. However, I am sure they are telling the truth because they showed me proof, some of which was directed by a judge. I don't think you should make a movie because your parents will use it for material. Just write a note, nothing more. Keep it simple. I really don't want to make a movie. I think I was just feeling selfish and angry when I thought about it all, which made me think of crazy things I could do to tell my parents. I should tell someone who downvoted my comment that video isn't a good idea instead of writing it myself. In the Harry Potter movie, there is a scene where Ron's room is under the stairs. Have you ever thought, wow, he has enough room to sit up in bed in a door I have actually more than once. I'm ready to leave them if it means I don't have to feel that way anymore. 25th November 2024. Hello, it's been a while. I just wanted to check in and leave some good vibes for some people. In my last message, I said that I had reached out to my mom's side of the family and found a place to stay. I'm proud to say that I did it, and am now in a safe place where I have no contact with my parents at all. Wow, my aunt is really an angel. She's so nice, and that's not even counting my grandmother and uncle. My aunt and grandmother took me shopping when I first got here. They bought me clothes, decorations, furniture for my room since I now have one, and anything else they thought I might need. My uncle put me in touch with my cousins, who have a younger boy and a daughter who are very close to my age. I'd say we've become friends. I've been able to do lots of fun little things with her. My aunt is helping me look into nearby schools right now, but she has told me I can take my time and that there is no need to hurry. Her house will always have a place for me. In general, my aunt is really cool. I have grown close to and started to look up to her very quickly. We discover that we share many interests as we spend more time together. All of them have made my day by being here and being so helpful. In the same way, my aunt is really helping me figure out who I am. These days I decide what I share, with whom I share it, and how I share it. And I dyed and cut my hair, gave myself a nickname, and have been going by that name only. My cousin is on a trip right now to help me figure out what makeup I like. She's also showing me her favorite music groups, even though she says she's not a big fan of K-pop. My Instagram account is completely secret, and only 5 people follow me. I hope to keep it that way. Took a break from being a weird teen girl for a while, and was just happy. I'm happy with my life when I look at myself in the mirror or think about it in general. I guess I didn't know I wasn't happy with who I was because, to be honest, I had bigger things to worry about. This is so much more than I ever thought it would be, and sometimes I have trouble even understanding it. But I am now officially in therapy. So maybe I can start working on that, and also think about my past and how it shapes who I am now and in the future. Part of the reason I'm writing this report is because I have a new doctor. To some extent, she thinks that sharing this might help her move on. Like a way to remember what I went through while also moving on with my life, since I have a whole new one ahead of me that I can't wait to experience. This is my last post on this site, so keep that in mind. My privacy is important to me because I want to enjoy my life and future. A lot of people really wanted me to tell my story and talk about my past, but I've decided not to do that for now. I can share my story or not. I am in charge of what people know about me right now, and I don't want to give that up just yet. But I guess I don't know what the future holds. I'm asking that people please respect that in the nicest way possible. I'm grateful for all the help and advice people have given me, and now that I know I'm safe, I can say I'm happy. I'm thinking about what I want to do with my life and who I am besides the person I show on TV. Thank you very much for everything, and have a nice day. I heard the childhood friend of my fiancé crying in the bathroom about how she loved him always, and my sister dared me to go talk to him. I did that. After a year, we started dating. The woman I'm going to marry and Cammie have known each other since they were kids, and their families are very close. We've been best friends since the first time we met because she's always been so nice to me. But I didn't think too much of it because she was dating Antonio, my fiancé's best friend. It was just a little strange that she was seeing him. 28M, we didn't become best friends because I already have a close group of friends that I trust, but she's always been cool and never did anything wrong. During a trip to Belize last summer, my fiancé asked me to marry him. When the news came out, everyone sent their congratulations to us except Cammie. The next day, she told my fiancé she was happy for him in a text message, not in our friend group chat. Since then, she's been a little cold toward me, but I never really paid attention because I have other friends. Antonio and Cammie broke up about 6 months ago, but they never really said why. All they said was that they want to be friends again and be happy with other people. To get back to last night, my bachelorette party was in a room at a fancy hotel in Miami, where I live. My older sister and Eli's sister Ava planned 26F. It was a great night, and I had the time of my life. I chose to go to the bathroom because we were all getting drunk. As I got closer, I heard voices and what sounded like crying. At that moment, I heard Cammie telling Ava that this should be her, when they were always meant to be together. That she loved him all the time. The hell, I woke up right away. If I don't invite her to my wedding a month from now, would that make me a bad person? I might have to write part 2, changed on November 26, 2024. Wow. Many thanks to all the people who have helped me and replied to my texts. You guys are great. Just to be clear, I called Cammie my fiancé's best friend because I didn't know what else to call her. Maybe a friend from childhood? It's funny, but they've never gone out of their way to call each other that. That's just how I see them. Okay, here's the news. As soon as I heard what was said, I felt like the old me things would get out of hand, so I kept listening. Some of you were interested in what Ava thought about everything. This wasn't the right time or place for Cammie to be upset, Ava told her. She also told her that Elijah would never forgive her if she wrecked my bachelorette party. She also told her she thought she should leave and calm down. At the same time they were leaving, I was about to walk in. It seemed like I didn't hear anything, so I asked if everything was okay. Cammie wiped her face and looked down. She said she wasn't feeling well and might have to end the night early. It wasn't a fight, and I even walked her to the door because… why? I pulled Ava to the side and told her I heard everything after she left. She told me she was sorry I heard it and would talk to Eli about it, but I told her no. Someone else asked why Cammie said it should have been her. Did she date my ex before? But I had to be sure because I knew they hadn't. When I asked if they had ever been together, they said no. Ava replied that she didn't know of any, but that when they were teens, their moms would joke that they might finally be connected once Eli and Cammie get married. She said that didn't happen because Eli was never interested in her. The girl Cammie is beautiful, but my fiancé has a type that she's not. I wanted to ask more questions, but I thought I'd wait to get more answers until I talked to my fiancé, so I kept the party going and even had a quick chat with Eli before bed. The next day, when I got home, I made a post on Reddit before I did anything major. Late that night, my fiancé came home. After he settled down, I told him everything that had happened. He was so angry that calling him upset would be an understatement. I asked if they had ever done something together that I had never heard about. I asked if they had ever been close, and if she had ever thought she loved him instead of someone else. There has never been anything more than friends between them, he made that clear. He said they had never had sex before, but they did kiss once in high school while playing bottle games with alcohol. It was a group game though, and Antonio was kissed by more than one person. He told her that she has never told him she loves him, which made him weird because he helped Antonio and her start dating. We talked about calling her right away, but I told him to calm down first because being angry would make things worse. I want to make it clear that my fiancé is not upset that I heard it or trying to hide something. He's mad because she did that to him, and at my party, where we were all there to support me. He feels hurt and cheated. Sometimes my fiancé is very defensive of me. He doesn't like it when people say bad things about him. I did tell him that I don't think she should go to our wedding right now. I want people at our wedding who are truly happy for us and want the best for us. He texted her tonight to say that he needs to talk to her. She told him she would let him know when she got home. So, let's see how the talk tonight goes. He also asked Antonio to come over for dinner and we'll talk to him about what's going on, because something doesn't seem right. It was also brought up by many of you that she was seeing Antonio and that she might have used him to make Eli jealous, so we will all be there when the talk does happen, to hear what she has to say. I'll let you know how the talk goes and if anything new comes up since Thanksgiving is coming up soon. Please give me some time to get through this vacation. Also, tomorrow I have a fitting for my wedding dress. I'm really happy. I might put together a collection and show you the pictures I used as guides. Thank you, and have a wonderful break. Leave a comment where the OP has responded, or leave one yourself. Don't let it happen. No matter what. Just watch out that this friend problem doesn't ruin the best time of your life. This is the end of a long trip for you and your fiancé. Enjoy it, and don't let her steal it from you. Right on. We're both happy right now. I am sure I will enjoy.